Hi there, and welcome to another episode of Way of the Brush, with me, your host, Kris, a.k.a. Mini Wargaming Kris, a.k.a. The Name Butcher, a.k.a. I'm all out of AKs. Way of the Brush, the most informative 120 minutes on the internet on the wargaming lifestyle. We'll talk about painting, terrain, conversions, and everything under the sun. It usually devolves into a lot of painting talk and a whole lot of what's under the sun, but that's alright, that's half the fun. If you are a new viewer and have never watched this program before, send your questions to Kris@miniwargaming.com, or you can write it in the chat if you're watching this live right now. If you're fortunate enough to watch this live right now. I say fortunate, but you might not be fortunate. I don't know. You see a lot of the monkeys already joining us today. I can see Mark Hill. Hey guys, hi Kris. Hi Mark Hill. Tolo. Hey Mark. Spite you. Howdy monkeys. Howdy Kris. Cause King 5555. Extra thin cement from Tamiya or plastic glue from Citadel. Which one is better? I'd probably go with, well, if you're gluing the Citadel models, you probably won't go wrong using the plastic glue from Citadel. Although I do find that the little plastic pin, or the little metal pin that goes in the plastic glue, I find it doesn't sit very well inside the bottle. As I haven't tried Tamiya. Personally, I use Tester's plastic cement, which is the same kind of thing. It uses a little metal nozzle to apply the tiny little dots of glue. But yeah, if you're using just it for the Citadel models, you can't go wrong. I mean, most styrene plastic models, I mean, the glue is plastic cement is pretty much the same thing. It's all, I believe, like an acetone-based product. It's a solution that's like a diluted acetone. And it basically melts the styrene plastic and forms that bond. But Tamiya makes really great products, and so if you want to go with Tamiya, go with Tamiya. I'm sure you probably aren't going to go wrong with that. Extra thin cement, yeah. I mean, I know the Citadel one is pretty thin, and so I don't know if like, you know, it's really, really thin, if it's really, really watery. But again, yeah, I mean, you can't go wrong. Kurt Krishon, hello monkeys, how we all doing? I think we're all doing pretty good. Kurt says, extra thin Tamiya. I just got my first bottle a few months ago, and it's amazing. Okay, well, there we go. We got some testimony from Kurt saying extra thin Tamiya is the way to go. So, yeah. I mean, I like Tamiya products too. I mean, you know, don't get me wrong. It's just oftentimes, most of us, especially when we're new to this hobby, it's easier for us to get our hands on the Citadel stuff than it is shopping around, you know, looking for Tamiya or, you know, Testers or, you know, anything other than that, you know, shopping around a bit, right? When we first get into this hobby. But, you know, hey, we all start from somewhere, right? Despite you loving Tamiya, still use CA glue for attaching models to the bases. Sure, I mean, you know, it makes it easier to snap them off later on. I mean, I always use this, the plastic cement to glue the model to the base, glue the plastic model together, you know, and that's pretty much it, right? Kurt Krishon, yeah, you still need to use CA glue for resin and metal to plastic and all that. Always need an array of glues at hand. Yes, exactly. You always need some CA glue or cyanoacrylate or whatever the heck, super glue, crazy glue, you know. Of course, there are very many variations on the super glue, right? You have the thinner stuff and you also have the thicker stuff. Thinner stuff I find very good for, you know, doing small bonds, things like that. The thicker stuff like Zap-A-Gap, that's a really good one. And that one's really good because, I mean, if you have, say, I know like for War Machine, I know like a lot of the metal models, a lot of times, they have these really unsightly gaps. And so you can use that Zap-A-Gap to your advantage that if you have just a little bit too much near that gap and you put them all together, and then you can use like your thumb or something really fast, or something wet and damp, and just wipe that excess glue right off real fast, and you'll leave that little barrier of glue there, and it'll fill the gap for you. Essentially, is what it's doing. Ram V, hey monkeys, hey Kris, McWhiskey, hello everyone. Lord Krabby, sup monkeys, sup Lord Monkey. Data Wargaming, hello. Alcard 869, good morning all. Kurt Krishon, did anyone else go out and buy Kris's mini holders live on the store a couple days ago? Yeah, I'll be putting up a few more soon enough onto the store for anybody who wanted to pick one up but just missed the day, because they all went out in just that one day. Now, mind you, I didn't have that many in stock, but I mean, it's not like I'm hand doing these things, and so, it takes a little bit of time getting prepared. It's not like, I ordered like 500 from China or something like that, But yeah, I was really pleasantly surprised, at the support you guys, had shown, because, I mean, Matt was like, whoa, like first hour, 2 sold, and he was like, wow, 2 sold. That amazed him. And then I had gotten an email early the following morning, and he had said, because he's up early anyway, and he'd sent me an email saying that they had all sold, and I was like, wow, like that's amazing. I honestly didn't think, like, I thought maybe the 13 would go by Friday or whatever, like 1, 2 here, there, every other day one would sell, maybe. And yeah, I was actually very, very pleasantly surprised that the amount of support you guys had shown in purchasing these things. And of course, they're not just just a way to show your support. I mean, this product does have a value to you guys, because I've heard you. I know you guys have heard me talk about using handles and things to attach your model to, so that you're more comfortable when you're painting. And these handles that I've made, the steady hand grip, I mean, these will, right off the hop, using a handle, using something to attach the model to and holding on to, so that it's much easier to hold the model, will make you a better painter. And so these handles will make you a better painter. Reason being, because the extra size and the diameter, your hand is more relaxed, right? That's one. 2 is, if your hand is more relaxed, you're going to be a lot steadier. Now, if you were holding on this hand and you were painting for a long while, and you were just holding on to the base, I mean, when you're holding on to the base, like, look at all the muscles are tense here and here. Your fingers and your knuckles, it all gets tense. If you're holding on, say, like to a 25 millimeter base, your muscles get all tense. That can cause shaking and extra fatigue. Whereas, see here, my hand is much more relaxed looking. And see, and I can sit here and I can paint. And of course, if you're steadying yourself and everything like that, you're painting much more confidently. And again, they'll make you a better painter. And it's not, it's not some, jargon I'm throwing your way. I mean, like they will make it, using a handle, any handle, be it cork or old paint bottles or anything like that, will make you a better painter. A handle. Anywho. Clumsy Juggler is joining us today. Dr. Xantos, Neil Turner, hello everyone. Leet to Leet. I got one. Well, it's shipped. Yeah. They all got shipped out like Tuesday, Wednesday. I can't remember when. I'm pretty sure we started this Monday. We posted these. And again, big thank you to everybody who purchased them, and more will be in stock soon enough. So just most likely what we'll do is whenever more get in stock, we'll probably just post it on Facebook that more are in stock, and you can go purchase them. But mind you, though, there'll be small quantities, so I mean, If you really want one, gotta act fast. Man, I am lost in these comments. A whole bunch just went flying by here. Cause King 555. I'm using a fly fishing hook rigger to do my painting. A fly fishing hook rigger. I'm not sure what that device looks like, but okay. Jeff McFall. Hello, Jeff. I don't think I've ever read that name before, so I welcome. GS squared. I always say GS squared. G squared. Hey, monkeys. Did I already say Dr. Santos? I said Dr. Santos. I did. Spike you. I use my master soap to hold my minis. Sometimes I do that too, because it's the same. It's almost the same size as this handle. And yeah, I mean, like if you look at my, well, I have an old one. I don't know where it went to. But my old master's soap, yeah, I was using it for painting. I use all sorts of stuff. I mean, like I'll use my handles and I'll use other stuff because like sometimes I'll have like other projects and stuff like that on the go, and so I'll need more things and yeah, so yeah. Dr. Xantos, what have people been working on? I went repainting my Dreadnought arms to match the Death Watch style. Very cool. That's what Justin's been doing. I don't know why he's been doing this, but he's got a whole array of Dreadnoughts, many weapon configurations, many chapter configurations, and they're all Death Watch. They're all painted in Death Watch, but I don't know. I think the man might be crazy. I don't know, but Dad of Wargaming, I sent a reply to my email from last time with the photos in it. You know what, Dad? Come to think of it, I read your email last show and there was no photos in it. Or did you send it today? Oh, you sent it today. And you got the photos. Yeah, okay, I see the photos now. Oui. Okay. Oui. Okay. So, anywho. Yeah, last week, Data. Sorry, buddy. Where am I in the comments? I don't know. Neil Turner, working on jeans from the Lost Patrol box. Very cool. Peter Bartowak? Oh, totally butchering up that name. I'll say Peter. Peter? I'll say it's Peter. Hi. I might even be saying his first name wrong. Alucard, I've been building and painting the new models from the Awesome Watch Master. Very cool. Orangey or yellow, or do you prefer them browny yellow? Because there's the two kinds, right? There's the two styles. Well, more like three styles, because you kind of get these ones that are just kind of the straight up yellow. There's very, very little shading involved, where you just have them just like the pure yellow. Whereas others have them kind of an orangey kind of shade to them, and others have kind of a brown kind of shade to them. I know some people prefer, one or the other, right? So I'm just wondering. I'm just starting to make a conversation. Zine OG, Kris, how would you make a Citadel paint mix 50-50 and put it in a pot so I can consistently and reliably use the same shade? It always seems to dry up. The best way to go about that is to make a good consistent 50-50 is find yourself some dropper bottles, I guess you dropper bottles too, I suppose. But anyway, the little droppers, eyedroppers, right? And these ones here are plastic. I use these for the airbrushing to draw the paint out, and also to rinse the airbrush. But yeah, if you can find the ones that have like the measurements on them, all the better. Otherwise, you could probably just make a measurement, say like halfway up the glass, and just like with a little Sharpie marker or something like that, just leave like a little indentation of how much, paint there is. And then you can just drop that much amount of paint, spit it into a bottle, rinse this out really good, and then go into the other bottle, draw it up to the same amount, and spit it into the other bottle. And if you need to do more, then of course, you're always, as long as you're following that line, you're always getting that same amount, right? And as long as you do it equally to both paints to mix into the one jar, then you should be good, right? So I think that's probably about your best way, is a dropper bottle. Just going into your pot of paint and just drawing up. Of course, again, making a line on the bottle if it doesn't already have, the measurements on it. And, just make a line somewhere, about halfway or, more than halfway, how much ever you would need to mix. And then just draw. So if you draw, say if you're making a mixture of, I don't know, black, gray, and you want to have 50-50 of black and white, and you went, one black, boom, squirt it in, take one white, boom. But then you said, it's not enough paint inside the bottle. Grab another black, boom, put it in the bottle, grab another white, boom. So as long as you were consistent about, everything, it should be consistent mixture. And then you just mix it. Just do like a stir stick or something like that, or old paintbrush, or, whatever. Or just close it and shake the hell out of it, and just mix it. So, hopefully, who asked that question anyway? Oh, Zine. Yeah, so, hopefully that helps. Those eyedroppers, I picked those up on eBay. It was like, I think $3 for like a set of 5. And they shipped to me pretty quick, so, yeah. And they're glass. And I would get the glass. I wouldn't go with plastic. I would go glass just because it's easier to clean them out, because you can use like Windex and things like that in them. And I primarily use them for airbrushing, but sometimes I use them for regular painting as well. Mark Hill, I'm working on Rastafarian Orc Army, making dreadlocks and hats out of green stuff. Dude, you gotta send me pictures of that, man. Yeah, man. Emperor's Children, Zapping App is glorious stuff. Yes, I know. Graham Cullen, I had a bottle of Citadel poly cement evaporate from inside the sealed blister pack. Granted, it was 3 or 4 years old, but it wasn't supposed to be sealed. But isn't it supposed to be sealed? Scary stuff. It just kind of evaporated into the upside down, I guess. Whoops, not that button. No, not that button. Get out of here. Get out of here. Graham Cullen was always too stringy anyway. Oh, that kind of like thicker plastic cement. Yeah, that like, again, yeah, that stuff was all right, but a lot of the Citadel stuff, it's really, really thin. It has like a little metal tube, like a little mosquito kind of thing, and just bloop, you just put a tiny little drop. It's really, really good for gluing tiny little models. Like, it's really good for doing Citadel models, Malifaux plastic models, because Malifaux models, they have tiny little connection points on them. Oof, man, you go blind. So, yeah, they're really good. And so you need something that's very, very accurate. You're going to put that little bit of glue where you need it, because then it starts reacting with the plastic, melting it, right? And so you got to glue those parts together real fast. Even though it takes a while for the glue to finally cure, but, yeah. Tolo, they all sold. Awesome. What is your family going to use them for? What? Oh, I mean the handles? What are my family going to use them for? I don't follow. Delta War Gaming. I'm making a gaming board for 40K. 6'2" foot by 2 foot plywood tiles. All I have so far is just 2 foot by 4 sheets of plywood and nothing else. What is the best way to make? Continue. Next comment. What is the best way to make the table? Well, if you're making a gaming board and you're doing 2 foot by 2 foot board sections, you're probably best making a small frame for them, if you can. Just like a little out of 1 inch, 1 inch by probably, 1 inch by 1.5 inches. Cut that up and make a frame for them. Just because the 2 inch or 2 foot plywood can get kind of flimsy feeling, and if they have a frame, they'll be nice and strong. That's the first thing I would recommend if you're doing that. Make a frame for each piece. Alucard 869. When is the show starting? Didn't the show start? What's going on? I don't know what's going on. Where are we? Holy crap. Man, these comments just keep blowing right by. Lord Krabby, I need one of those handles. I got paint all over my War Machine base. Yeah, well, check. I mean, hopefully Monday we'll have a few more up for sale. So just check back. Again, I'll post on Facebook when there's more in store. Oh, he just keeps saying that there's 1 minute to the show. I don't know. Homabado. Hi, people. Hello, Homabado. Data Wargaming 3D terrain like hills. I'm thinking of using high density foam, and how should I start? How should I paint it? Never painted anything that big. Is it going to be sort of mud and grass effect? Go out and find yourself, and of course you can head to any dollar store, or whatever, and find yourself some like 1-inch brushes. They're pretty cheap, and you can lay your primer down or your base tones down. If you're gonna do like fixed hill terrains and you cut it out of styrofoam and then glue it to the panels, I would definitely recommend like a PVA watered down mixture put over the styrofoam, just in case if you use like a spray paint or whatever. Some spray paints will eat through styrofoam, so just be careful of that. But otherwise, I would go and get some 1-inch brushes just so that you can do all the painting, and then when it comes to like flocking the board, you can get your PVA glue mixture, thin it on just a bit, and with that 1-inch brush, you can just lay it right on the surface, and then sprinkle all your grass and everything on top of it, and yeah. So when you're working on bigger projects, look to getting bigger brushes. Essentially, is what it is. Tolo, Kris needs the ShamWow guy to do the holder video. I should just do a ShamWow video myself. Just make it look like an infomercial. That'd be funny. Graham Collins, sheep to the left of me, sheep to the right. Here I am, stuck in the middle of ewes. With the ewes. That's an old man joke. L. Rand. Welcome. L. Rand. Elho. Hirand. I can't say it. Ronnie Sugden, there he is. Greenleaf Terrain, there he is. There he is. Leet to leet. Okay, Kris, I have a Fire Raptor gunship primed in black, and I'm struggling how to accent or highlight black. What can you suggest? Well, for highlighting black, I mean, often you can go like Eschen Gray to Mechanicus Standard Gray, just along the edges. I personally prefer Incubi Darkness. I like that color better. I like highlighting black with turquoise colors instead, going with like light blues. Incubi Darkness is a really great color for that. In fact, I often like to start with a 1-to-1 mix of Abaddon Black and Incubi Darkness. That's just such a great color to start off with. It's very, very subtle, but like when you first lay it down, especially if you lay it down not huge amount of like say for example like on a Space Marine shoulder pad, if you lay like kind of like a thicker band of it on the top of it, it's just off from black, but it still has a hint of that Incubi Darkness, and it's just really great. It's a really great way of highlighting, better than this standard kind of gray color. It's just kind of boring. But yeah, that's the way I like to do it. Prawn Ham Dance, Incubi Darkness. Yeah, Prawn Ham Dance. Prawn Ham Dance has been watching this program for a while, and he knows. He knows what I like, how I often like to do things. George Hopkins, I painted up some Mark IV Traitor Imperial Fist for a narrative campaign. Very cool. Ooh, I like this idea. Cause King 555 to leet. Use some metallic Sharpies to do your highlights. It's very interesting. Some metallic Sharpies to just do like the edge highlighting and stuff like that. Could work. You know what? Cause King, if you've done it, send me some pics of like what you've done, like what projects you've done it on. because I'd like to see, because I think that'd be very interesting. I know like Gundam models, they have markers in their paint range where they don't even use paintbrushes and stuff like that. They just grab a marker and just color in the panel, and you know what I mean. And like, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, you just grab the model and you just take the marker and you color it in, right? It's essentially the same thing if you had a paintbrush and you do it. I mean, and so like, why not use things like a Sharpie marker to do the edge highlight? I like that. So yeah, if you got pictures, dude, send them in, because I like to see what the end result looks like. Clayton Tate, there he is. Hey y'all. Quillian Jacobs, Leap, try Eshin Gray. Yeah, you can try Eshin Gray. It's a good way to start. Even a 1-to-1 mix of Eshin Gray and Abaddon Black is also a good start as well, if you're in the mood to mix colors. Where are we? Stream died. I'm showing everything is still running. So again, whenever the stream looks like it dies, simply just refresh your browser. I don't know. YouTube seems to be doing that a lot to me lately. It seems like the stream gets killed. Or maybe it's my connection. I don't know. I have no idea. I'm right, like, I mean, I run things consistently, and, so I have no idea. None whatsoever. George Hopkins, I candy coated with the Badger Golden Yellow Ghost Tint and then shaded with the Sepia Wash. Oh, very cool. Oh, for his Imperial Fists. Very cool. That sounds very nice. I actually kind of like that. It sounds pretty simple. I like. Bob is joining us. Jabba's left nut. Watched a Warhammer TV video this week on brush care. Clearly, they're not sponsored by Masters, as they said nothing about brush soap for the noobs. No. Well, he was talking about basic brush control and care, of course. But yeah, I mean, brush soap is the next logical thing, and I'll bet you, next couple years, we're going to see Citadel put out a brush soap. Watch. Prawn Ham Dance. It puts the brush on the soap, or else it gets the hose again. Spite You, coming soon in GW brush soap and model holders. Yeah, exactly. The model holders look amazing like mine, probably. Ethylene? I'll say it's ethylene. The lightning effect on the swords on Warhammer TV was the lamest of them all. But the thing is, though, is like the one thing about the Games Workshop videos is that they're showing you that they're very attainable results, and they're fairly easy techniques. They don't bust into a lot of the, I don't know, like you don't see a lot of two brush blending on the show or anything like that, right? It's because really what they're geared towards is the customer who just bought that model and wants to know how to paint it, right? And so really that's what Games Workshop gears those videos towards, is the people who just bought their product. And yeah, at least that's the way it seems to me. I mean, I could be wrong. Most likely I'm wrong, but whatever. Graham Collin, Kris, did you ever get around to painting your Lexus Pollock? Yes, I did. I found, there's vault videos on it. They're in the vault, the whole series, painting them right up. He's buried up there somewhere. I would get him, but I don't feel like it. Ethylene 01 question mates. I'm a little off from 40k. Stormhawk Interceptor, only Astartes or Blood Angels 2? I don't know. Stormhawk? Which one's the Stormhawk? Or is it the Storm Raven he's thinking of? The Storm Raven, I think, used to be only Blood Angels, but then I think they said, no, anybody can take them now. Lane the Sandwich Destroyer. Lane the Sandwich Destroyer. Hey guys, just tuning in temporarily while on a short break at the Reptile Expo. Oh, very cool. The Reptile Expo. Lord Krabby. GW equals Stranger Things. I like that show. Stranger Things, that was a good show. Lane, just wanted to give a heads up that I was going to send some high quality pictures of white scars, probably viewable next week's program. Cool. You didn't send me. No, you said. Did you send me pictures of white scars? Because I thought I already did. I thought I already did them. I know there was some wonderful white scars last week that I had shown, and they were awesome. If that was you, Lane, I don't know, but yeah. Although I think we didn't have high quality. We couldn't zoom all the way in, and I wanted to be able to zoom all the way in, but we couldn't do it. Yeah, I think it was something like that. But anywho, yes, Homa Battle, I think you're right. I think it is email time. Let's jump to an email. This is from James Perks. Hey, Kris. Watched my first Way of the Brush video today, episode 127. A lot to catch up on. Like the bit where you offered constructive criticism on minis and would like to some pointers on mine if you have time. Anyways, keep up the good work. Enjoy your videos on mini wargaming also. Regards, James. And so here, he's got some pictures for us to have a peek at. A gander. Right off the hop, I like them. For the most part, they look pretty clean to me, which is good. I mean, clean orcs is fine. Dirty orcs. Oh, I like the weathering here. I like the skin tone on this guy too. The varying skin tones I like. Very cool. I like how the boss, though, is, somewhat different. I like the wear on the gun barrels too. No, it's all very clean. I like it. I think the teeth, I'd like to see the teeth a little whiter. Just a little bit more contrast, Yeah. But I really like how you did the flesh on. The flesh is really good. No, I really like them. I think your work is really, really clean. I think you're looking for just a little bit more contrast on things. Even like when you're working on the skin and like your final highlight color, add a little bit of white to it. And then just do just the knuckles. Just like the knuckles, just come back just a bit. Just a couple millimeters, like a millimeter. And on that knuckle, just come back just a bit. Just the edge of the muscles there. And just like the tip of the nose, just the cheekbones and the eyebrow, and just the lip. And just catch some of these smaller little points, with that mixture. I really like this guy here is very, very cool. Again, whiter teeth or even yellower teeth. I don't know. The teeth feel a little soft here. Now, I don't know if it's because it feels kind of dry brushed or what. I like that. They used orange in the shade and the shadows. I really like that. That's often folks playing with their color theory, getting a little further along, Again here. Well, you pretty much did that for everybody. Very cool. Yeah, with the highlight colors though, I'd like pick out the knuckles more, bring a little more contrast, get a little more detail on like the lips, the upper lip. Just on that the edge of the jaw, tip of the nose, just those kind of things, Just kind of bring a little bit of sharpness in, But very, very good stuff. And I think there's one more picture here. Oh, it's the backsides. We got to look at their backsides. Yeah. It's like even the pants. I like the pants, but I mean, you can also come up with just a little bit brighter color and just kind of catch some of these edges in the folds. Look at the stitching. Things like that. Is, just to kind of just bring a little bit more sharpness into these details. But otherwise, really good stuff. I really like the painting. I like the style. It looks really good. And send me more. Send me more, whatever you're working on there, dude. James. But yeah, I think that's the next step is just refining some of those highlights and getting into some really, really fine edge highlights. And, kind of bring, like, not so much the contrast, but just bring a little bit more of the details out, And so where are we in the chat? In the chat, where are we? Cos King 55. Most of those models are from Cromlech. Yeah, the head looked a little non-GW, looked a little non-standard. Prawn Hamdans, White Scars are on my radar sometime after 30k Thousand Suns, 30k Space Wolves. Got one of the Forge Roll event only sorcerers. I want to convert and make it more White Scars. Cool. Dad at Wargaming at Cos King. Nothing wrong with third-party miniatures? No, nothing wrong. As long as they look good. I mean, like there's some third-party manufacturers out there that are kind of producing a bit, seem a bit lazy, and some look really, really good. Like they match, very well with the GW stuff, right? But I remember, like, back in the day, like, everybody making a big deal about Chapter House, and Chapter House sold this Warlock Farseer kit for Jet Bike. And back then, I wanted, a quick way of making them, right? Otherwise, it was going to cost me a Warlock model and a Jet Bike, and convert the two, right? I had already done that, and I needed to make more, and I wanted a better option, or cheaper, or faster option, one of the two. And yeah, I was looking at Chapter House, and they, at the time, I don't know if anybody remembers what that model looked like, but it was boring. It was boring. I never bought it because, even though I was thinking about going into the Ard Boys that year, and I was going to run 2 Seer Council lists. I know, really cheesy, right? But you know what? Screw you. It's Ard Boys, and I wanted like an option. And even then, as desperate as I was not going to buy those models just because I didn't like the look of them. Yeah, so no. Homabato, I'm going to eat. I hope to be back before the end. Okay. Lord Krabby, Kris, would you paint a Demigorgon? Yeah, I would. I would paint it. Do they have models of it? Like, did somebody create a sculpt of it? Because they're freaky looking. And if anybody hasn't watched Stranger Things, watch it. You wouldn't be disappointed. Unless, of course, you're really young and you're probably not going to get all bubbly about the nostalgia of the era. But I know myself, like, as soon as I was watching it in the intro and everything like that, man, I was immediately sucked into, 1983 again. And it was awesome. It was a great show. Definitely recommend it. Anyway. Cos King 555, Chapter House is still alive. Yeah, I know. I'm pretty sure they're still alive. But again, I'm not saying that they suck. I'm just saying that I wasn't impressed with those sculpts, and the GW has not always produced the best sculpts. Look at the old Nagash model, the old Nagash model. That's horrible. It's horrible. I don't know how anybody bought those models, but they needed them for their army, so they needed Nagash, and so they bought them. The old Nagash, not the one that just came out like a couple years ago. I'm talking the one that's like 20 years ago. It's awful. It's silly looking. So, yeah. Ithleen, are you playing something these days, Kris? No, I've been playing a lot of Xbox. I've been killing a lot of hours on the Xbox, playing a lot of World of Tanks, and again, I've been playing a lot of XCOM. So, yeah. XCOM's got its hooks in me again. I love XCOM, though. I've loved it since PC days, man. Such a great game. Data Wargaming. Kris, what is your favorite 30k Traitor Legion, and which is your favorite Loyalist? Traitor would probably be Death Guard. just because I'm a follower of Nurgle, and loyalist would probably be Imperial Fist, just because I love the Crimson Fists. The Crimson Fists are my favorite loyal chapter, but that's contemporary 40k, and so I mean you have to pay homage to the originator, and so yeah, I mean it's the Imperial Fist, and I mean that's why I picked up Alexis Pollock, because he's the original Crimson Fist, and I'm even thinking about picking up another one and doing him in blue as a Crimson Fist. I think that'd be fun, just for giggles. But yeah, Crimson Fist and Imperial Fist, loyal, and for traders and chaos, it's Death Guard. I mean, you can't go wrong with Nurgle. Nurgle's the Lord of all, and I mean, how can you not like a god who immediately gives you a +1 toughness just for liking him? Right? +1 toughness for liking him. Makes you tougher. No other god does that. Makes you tougher. You like me? Oh yeah? You're tough. Right on. So, yeah. Prawn Hamdens, they might have a problem getting the cat hair in the primer if the spray priming and airbrush, those are a pain. Whoa, what? Data Wargaming, no one mentions Nurglebum yet. Heresy. Nurglebum. Spite you. XCOM. Yeah, I know. I love XCOM. Oh, I haven't played the new XCOM 2 though. Because it's on, because it came out for PC, but it never came out for the consoles, and it's coming out soon enough, right? And yeah, so don't spoil nothing or anything. Because right now I'm playing XCOM again on second wave, and I have like all the options checked for like the craziness, like random damage and stuff like that. Random damage, not a lot of fun, especially when you're counting on some guy to die, and he doesn't because he only did 1 point of damage on him with this, with the heavy plasma rifle. That sucks. When you're counting on that guy to just completely damage this guy, no, it didn't work. I'm screwed. The Mobius, has anyone tried the World of Tanks game? The World of Tanks game, I've been playing a lot of that as well. I've been running through a lot of the German tanks. I'm for the German heavy tanks, I'm at like the E75. For the destroyer, I'm still stuck on the Santa Mil, and for the medium, I think I'm on the Indian Panzer, yeah, or Indian Tiger, Indian Panzer, Indian Tiger. I can't remember what it's called. Anyway, yeah. And of course, we dabble in like Russian tanks and American tanks and stuff like that. And it's really dumb on Xbox because we play on the Xbox One, and what's really dumb is the French tanks in that game. They just seem like indestructible, and I don't know why that is. Like if the French tanks were really that tough in the Second World War, the French would have won the Second World War. Right? So I mean that's my thinking anyway. So the Mobius, Kris, you and I have the physique for Nurgle. Yeah, exactly. That's why also I pray to Nurgle too. Yeah, the physique keeps me in this shapely form. Quilliam Jacob is nice. Despite you, I was playing the XCOM 2 while waiting for the stream to start. Yeah. Data Wargaming, Kris. And another question about 30k stuff. If the Loyalists were traitors, which Chaos God would each Loyalist, now traitors, follow? No Undivided. That's kind of tough. I think a lot of them. Well, okay, yeah, like I could see Imperial Fists because they're they're the counter, or there's the counter siege master, that they would be like Nurgle because of the toughness, right? Breaking a siege. Ultramarines, I mean, they're not particularly bloodthirsty. I mean, Zinj, because they want to, help create empire. I don't know. See, I mean, like, maybe that's why they never went. Maybe that's why they never went trader, because the Chaos guys are like, I don't know what the hell to do with these guys. These guys are really weird, and they're boring. a guy a guy like Angron who flips out at nothing. I mean, I can work with that, because you just got to nudge him a little bit and he'll flip out and start killing people, and I can work with that. But a guy who's gonna hold his own, stay cool, that's boring. Like, okay, like Lehman Russ. Lehman Russ, definitely you can imagine going to Khorne, right? Lionel Johnson, I guess you could probably see that going to Zinch as well. Yeah, White Scars, Khorne. Who else is there? Iron Hands, Nurgle, because they want to be machines, right? I don't know. Yeah, it's kind of tough. It's kind of, man, you dropped a really tough question on me there, buddy. Quillian Jacobs, spoiler alert, you will die a lot. Yes, probably. XCOM 2. Dr. Santos, I love the idea in XCOM 2. The game is good too, but really random at times. 2 feet away and 60% chance of hit. Yeah, that happens too. And sometimes it's a 21% chance, but you nail them right in the head and crit them. And, I mean, it's the roll of the die, I guess. The Mobius, LOL, the tanks are really unrealistic. The Germans are really weak and the Russians are really strong. It is made by Russians. Yeah, exactly. Oh, yeah, because like in the Xbox One, I have the Motherland, and that was the specialty tank that came out like a couple months ago. And I had done the challenges to win it, and that tank, it can take about almost, I think, 3 times its damage, like in deflections. Like, as long as you have it set right, the enemy will just keep deflecting off you unless they know exactly where to hit you. Yeah, you sit there all day and just deflecting shots, even off heavies and 2 tier 9s and stuff like that. Shots are coming right off you. It's funny. It just needs a bigger gun though. But yeah, like a lot of Russian tanks, yeah, the shots deflect and stuff. Yeah. The Germans, even though the Germans, like I said, like I play a lot of the German tanks. And, I mean, like, really, the German tanks, even like the heavies, they really can't play the up-close kind of battle. They have to stay at the medium-long range and just kind of just keep shooting each other and stuff like that. Just better guns, and it's and we were playing through the heavies. I mean, even the Tiger, like playing the Tiger and the Tiger 2, I was even having a tough time against stupid little tanks. And like in the British tank, the stupid British tank is just, they're it's so ugly too. Just, I'm gonna get pissed off. I don't want to talk about World of Tanks at work. I'm gonna get pissed off. Excuse me. Let's do another email. Wrong mouse. Let's do another email. This is from Ronnie Sugden. Hey, Kris. I don't know if he sounds like that. Hey, Kris. I've been working on my Chaos Space Marines, or Chaos Terminators, and was wondering what you think. Critiques and comments are always welcome. What do you think of the yellow on the weapons versus red on the weapons? Also, I did dry brushing for the green glow on the power weapons. I tried glazing, but didn't find the technique working well for me. Is there another technique you think might work better? Sincerely, Ronnie Sugden. And so here we are, looking at his Terminator's shoulder. Can we zoom in a bit? We can zoom in. We have the technology. We can zoom in. Where the hell's my mouse keep going? There we go. Okay, zoom in. So green glow. Okay, well, you're kind of there almost. What you got to start doing is now working with a smaller, lighter color, and you can even dry brush that in, and you'll get a very subtle color blend going on. Like, say for example, this looks like to me it looks like Warpstone Glow, and then if you came in with like a little bit of Moot Green, dry brush it very, very lightly and just very little amounts, and just slowly build that color up. And then you can come in with like a hard edge of, like, say, oh, you could even come in with some yellow, like really yellow, and just tiny line, or even bad moon. I just edge that, and then hit it with a green gloss or green glaze, Weight Watcher green, and just kind of blend it all together, and you get a nice glowing kind of green all on there. The purple looks good. Everything looks nice and clean. I like it. Come on, next picture. Here we go. And so you're saying for the weapon casings, what color to do? Yellow or red? If you're going to go with yellow, I would go with a different shade of yellow. I would go like maybe... Because your yellow here looks like it's a golden yellow. And so I would probably go with a brown yellow. Or if you went with red, I would go with a dark red. Like if it was a black with, say, red edges or red highlights kind of thing, you know? Yeah, just kind of complement well with your weapon casing here, right? So all your weapon casings are red. Yeah. I'd go with the dark red. Yeah. We'll leave it at that. We'll go dark red. Glazing wasn't working out for you. Glazing does take a bit of practice, you know. You gotta stick with it and just keep trying. It's all about slowly, like, say for example, like really nice highlighting here on your shoulder pad. Now it looks like a combination of airbrushing or dry brushing, or both. See, the way it looks speckly here, it looks like airbrushing here, but it looks like, I can see some of this stuff looks like dry brushing to me, which is good stuff. Either way, it all looks really good. And so, as I was going to say, when you're glazing, you know, like, if you're going to build this purple, and say you wanted to build it up to this Gene Stealer purple here, you know, you start about anywhere around here, and like your first brush stroke is bring the color up, allowing more of that Gene Stealer purple to build on the exiting of the brush stroke. And then you just slowly, like, I mean, to build a transition like that up to that Gene Stealer purple, we're talking probably like 4 or 5 glazes. And you got to let each one dry before you put the next one down, right? But yeah. But really, like, nice and clean. I think a little bit more contrast in towards the helmet. Just get a little darker. But like, you know, all that texture in there. Yeah, I'd go with a dark red on the guns. And you're dry brushing your glow. Yeah, or were you glazing? This almost looks like it was glazed. That looks like a couple layers of glaze in there. It's very, very subtle. Glazing is very, very subtle. Same with dry brushing. Well, everything we really do is kind of really subtle, but when you're slowly building those colors up and you think, I'm not laying enough down, I need a little more color in there. And you gotta have faith in the color, that as you put 2 or 3 layers down, that color will slowly build up, you know? So that doesn't look horrible to me. I mean, that's still salvageable. And so you can still do something with that. You could dry brush it. You can edge highlight, or you could edge highlight it as well, but you could also go back to glazing, get a lighter color, and start doing work on the edges. Let's give a better picture of the... Yeah, that's glazing. Well, that almost looks like dry brushing, but I can see the brush strokes here. Yeah. And remember too, when you're glazing, that when you're starting in here, like if I was doing these faces, okay, my brush stroke would start on the inside here and push the color out towards the outer edge, so that when the brush stroke ends, you know how when your brush stroke ends and you have that little dollop of color, that's what you want to have happen. Is you want to have that buildup of color, so the brush strokes are out, and I'd probably work with my brush bristles like almost sideways, so that it would only be a couple brush strokes to do this. It wouldn't be like a whole bunch of brush strokes. It'd be like 1, 2, and then 3 kind of thing. I'd use like the side of the bristles, and kind of like a mopping a floor kind of thing, you know, where you're just getting maximum amount of surface. And so yeah, I would That's the way you always want to push that color. Is you want to push the color outwards. You always want, when you're glazing, you always want to push that color and end your brush stroke where you want it to be brightest. That's about the easiest way as I can explain that one. I like the color on the skulls. Looks really cool. But yeah, the weapons are definitely salvageable. You can still, finish those and get them done, and yeah. Oh, the base coats were done with airbrush. Okay. Funny. That's exactly how I sound. No, I can't stop laughing. I'm totally picturing that voice. Anyway, yeah. But I like it. I like the color scheme. I like it all. I like it all. Yeah, I'd go with a dark red. Like, I'd probably go with black with like little edge highlights of red, so that it felt more like a black, but a little bit of red, just to throw a little bit of color in there. Yeah, let's see. Let's look at the axe. See the axe here. This looks like you were overbrushing. It looks like you're dry brushing, but you have too much color on the bristles. But again, this is still salvageable too. Don't get me wrong. This is not like, we can't fix this. Because you can take the same color, thin it down to a glaze, and fill in these little pockets here. And you can, and again, like I mentioned before, if you wanted to, you can take the glaze and you can push that green, and you push the green out towards where you want to get brightest, right? So your brush stroke starts on the inside and goes out. Inside, out, inside, out. And that's glazing. The theory of glazing. But thank you, Ronnie, for sending those in. Hopefully the couple little notes I have there for you help. If they don't, well then, I don't know, too bad. No. Really, that's what it is. And your glazing didn't look horrible. It was still it looked like you still needed just to kind of build a couple more layers up. And glazing oftentimes requires 4 or 5 layers of that color to build up that transition, especially when you're working from a black and you want to build it up to a bright color. You're going to have to go through a lot of transitions. So, I don't think you were on the wrong track there, bud. Oh, how did you do it? Zenithal Gene Sealer over Nagroth Nightshade. The yellow is yellow with a sepia wash. Maybe one color on the weapons. I'm working up the courage to start edge highlighting someday. Okay, yeah, no biggie. So whenever you're ready, man. Prawn Hamden, did he airbrush yellow? No, he did not. He did not. Yeah, he did it all by just the purple was the airbrush. Lord Krabby, what I do for some Cheers wings right about now. Yeah. Well, we just had those on Thursday, wings. Anybody who doesn't know, if you come in to a game with Mini War Gaming and come play games, stuff like that, if you're here on a Thursday, we have a sort of tradition where every Thursday we go to our local watering hole and go for wings. And of course, if you're in for a game playing us, you get to come for lunch with us because, lunch is on us. Prawn Hamrins, you did well getting the yellow so vibrant without making it super thick. Did you start on a white base or just build up from the purple? Interesting. The base was with Everland. Okay, and then Uriel and then Sepia. Yeah, very cool. Yeah, with Everland, man, Everland, you can set that on top of black. 2 layers of Everland on top of black, and you got solid yellow. You've got a very solid yellow. Ronnie, awesome. Kris, thanks for the advice. Yeah, no problem, dude. Again, it just takes practice, bud. Glazing just takes practice. And if you're still venturing into edge highlighting, you might want to venture into edge highlighting a little sooner before getting into glazing, because edge highlighting will make you want to thin down your paints a bit and have a little bit of control, and you'll see, versus glazing when you're really thinning down your paints and you got to try to maintain a lot of control. So, but the theories are still kind of the same with edge highlighting and glazing. So I think edge highlighting might be the way you want to go next. Prawn Hamden's building up the green on the edge of the highlight is just the corners. Using a sharp bone mix would look good. Yeah, mixing a sharp bone, sure, because it's got that brown and yellow qualities in it, would look really cool. I personally, if I was going to go with that route and build up to a sharp bone color, yeah, then I'd hit it with like either yellow glaze or green glaze, just to finish it off and kind of just marry all those transitions together, and give it also a nice little glowy kind of quality. Let's do another email because, because we can. This is from McWhiskey. Good day to you, Mr. Bello. I am working on my first diorama. I just wanted some input from the monkeys and the Monkey Master. As I work through, I will eventually finish off the minis and put them on the bases and put them in their place. I've not done blood work or OSL, and this diorama will require a bit of both. So if you have any tips for OSL especially, I'd love to hear them. I've hit pretty much everything I could find in the vault, but the OSL here will cover a large area. Do you think glazing the color out or in would be best? The tomb is one of Hearst Art's. Unfortunately, I planned out the diorama poorly because I didn't expect the arches of the tomb to block so much of the main scene, so I have to redo it. Sorry about the city self phone pics. There's pics? Hey, there's pics. Okay, so right off the hop, if you're going to do large amounts of OSL, man, you can't be getting an airbrush for that. You can't beat an airbrush for doing OSL effects. But if you're going to do large areas, like if it was like a model's torch or something like that, yeah. Otherwise, you might be dry brushing it all. I don't know. But here we go. So, wizard dude scaring the crap out of a guy. Guy coming in. Gonna lay a whooping on him. Very interesting. Now, where's the OSL gonna go? I would assume probably this fire. I would assume the fire. I like this little temple thing. It's pretty cool. Now, if you're going to go with a crazy amount of OSL, like this thing is just blowing this place out, yeah, you're going to have to do like the inside of the pillars, the inside of the church itself, and the characters themselves will have to get OSL'd as well, as well as like everything else. Of course, the thing to bear in mind, though, is where does the OSL kind of kick in, like from the flames, with that angle. Like, see from here, okay, let's zoom in a bit. See from here, the flames would ride out in a straight line, right? So the light emanating would go straight out. So everything below that line is not likely to catch a lot of light, although the flames do reach up. So the light could be coming down like that, but it'd be very, very light, as opposed to if this was your bright core, right? And you only had a couple of light little fingers coming up and casting a little bit more light. And so you can have almost like, not a harsh line, but you'd have almost this kind of like water line where it's a little bit brighter and it goes up. And then you can have a little bit more brightness coming down just a little bit, just representing the fact that the altar is blocking a lot of the light. If that makes any sense. But unfortunately, though, I mean, I don't really think you need that much OSL. Okay, like the top of the altar itself will need a generous amount of it, just to kind of illustrate the glow. The characters themselves, you could probably get away with just like the corners, maybe a bit on the face, the front, the leading edge of the book. glinting off the knife, his elbow, side, stuff like that. The top up portion up here, maybe the knee. The pillars themselves getting a little bit brighter at about the same level as the altar, and then just kind of coming up just a bit, and then just kind of the hint of color into the rest of it, maybe, and then maybe a bit more in the upper center of the roof where you would have like that full-on glow happening up there, right? Kind of like that. But unfortunately, like the other way you could go about it is, which would be, but I've seen it done before, but I mean you can do it again as well, is the entire piece is in darkness. And let's assume that there's a moonlight out. So everybody would have this moonlight cast on them, right? You'd have the dark, it'd be very, very dark, it'd be a very dark diorama, but it'd be very convincing of like a nighttime kind of sacrifice kind of thing, because then you could have this green glow playing off of pretty much almost everybody, where it's more intense into the center, but it would hit even the characters on the outside. But you would also have, say, this outer glow from out here, and then maybe somebody's weapons glowing, or stuff like that, right? But otherwise everything would be really, really dark. I'm probably confusing them now, probably at this point. Oh, she's already been cut. Oh, poor girl. Oh, there's all sorts of scary things coming out of this. It's like Raiders of the Lost Ark at the end. Everybody gets melted. Yeah, so that's just an idea. Also, for the diorama too, I mean, like, you might want to consider making permanent spaces where these guys will go, and then color match their bases to the terrain, so that you can either take them out or move them around or what have you. But otherwise, yeah, really cool stuff. Yeah, the OSL is going to be tricky. There is quite a bit there. Now you can minimize it all and do it by brush. But if you were going to do it, kind of full on, kind of, the sacrifice kind of thing, and then have the flame being the most intense part of the map or of the diorama, yeah, you could have more OSL and have it even playing the OSL playing off, the guys as they're coming at to save the girl, unfortunately. But yeah, so hopefully make whiskey that kind of helps. And if not, ask me. Feel free to ask me any other crap as well. Happy to help. Where are we in the comments? George Hopkins, what email do we send our pictures to? Kris@miniwargaming.com. That's where you send them. And the pictures, send the pictures as attachments. Attach the photos to the email, please. Just because I don't like going off to Imager or Photobucket or any other damn site. I like to keep it all self-contained. Zine OG. I do OSL with dry brushing on whatever color the light would be near surface, especially the metallic surface or water-like areas. Perhaps just using a larger brush for the areas. Yeah, perhaps. And yeah, you could do the OSL by dry brushing as well. And that, yeah, just as easily. It's just the thing is that he's got like the castle itself or the altar itself. It's all very light stone, right? And I think we had this talk last week when we were talking about OSL on like the White Scar vehicle, right? The headlights on the white, really, really difficult to see, right? The OSL really works really well when you have these really strong contrasts. Like the model's holding a torch, and so it's casting this yellow-orange glow onto him. But maybe there's this blue moonlight hitting him, and so he's got these little hints of blue playing across him as well. You have to have these other kind of elements at play. And so like that altar piece might be a little too light to have a really convincing OSL occurring on. It might not be something people notice right away when looking at it, right? Versus if the entire piece had a very dark, dark bluey gray kind of quality to it, right? Like kind of like night. And then they all had, highlights on them, consistency with moonlight on them. And then you threw that green OSL just on, say, quite a bit on some of the guys who were closer, a little bit less on guys who are further away, and things like that, right? So, yeah. McWhiskey, thank you. Yes, well, thank you, McWhiskey, and yeah, send me more pictures of your work as you keep going. Mark Macato, Kris. I recently got Harlequins, and that checker pattern is hard. What colors would you suggest I paint my lunatic space clowns? What colors? Whew, man, that's a tough one. Because the way GW has painted them, they've gone for this dark kind of quality to them. They have a lot of black on them. I'm not particularly fond of it. I'm more old school myself, and I like the way Harlequins are done back in the day. Is my compendium here? Where the hell is my compendium? Son of a... Anyway. Sorry. I was looking for my compendium because the old compendium has really a lot of good Harlequin painting guides to it. And let me see if this one does. I don't think it does really, but it's got Harlequins in it. Harlequins. It's got gene sealers. Iceberg warriors? No. So anyway, with the Harlequins, I'm old school. I like them painted up like clowns in bright colors, to the point of being really, really loud. But I like it like that. I like I like the look of them to be like that, and so. With my Harlequins, I started doing them basically in kind of the primary colors and secondary colors. So I have like one Harlequin, he goes from a green to a white fade. Another one goes to a purple to a white fade, red to a yellow to white, I think. Anyway, and then I'm putting checkers on them, putting different colors, going crazy on them. And of course, I'm going to do the guns in gold or something like that. The masks will be done in white, I have a few quick tips on Harlequins, doing the checker patterns and other stuff like that. Even some freehanding, things like that. If you're a Vault member, just, look up, I think Harlequins should be in there. But yeah. Kind of hard to recall whether I had shown the main bodies of the Harlequins on how I was doing them. But anyway, yeah. So I like my Harlequins nice and loud, and it's really up to you. Yeah, Graham, go for a ride of color, discordant as you can get. They should hurt the eyes. Yes, I agree, and I'm with Graham on that one. The Harlequins should be just all over the place with color. Lots of colors. Think clowns. Think crazy clowns, man. Bright colors. Heck, you could even do like murder clowns, and like some of the weapons kind of splashed in blood, and you can take it kind of gruesome like that, get a little dark. I don't know what kind of models you like, but anyway. McWhiskey, my plan was to do the whole thing as a nighttime effect. Yeah, then you're gonna have to take everything down again, McWhiskey. That terrain, it's got I wouldn't take it all the way to black, but I would go like near black, like navy blue kind of thing, like just really close to black. Like if you had 5 parts black with 1 part blue kind of thing. It's not pure black, but it's pretty darn close. Or even brown, for the ground and stuff like that, then it's brown, that kind of thing. Data Wargaming, Kris, would you ever do a 40k bear up? I'd love to. I'd love to, but unfortunately, most of the time, my schedule is taken up by quick tips and other little side projects and stuff like that. So, and usually a bat rep. Bat reps. I mean, if we start in the morning, you usually get them done by lunchtime, and then you squeeze out a second one. But it all depends. But I'd like to, yeah, I'd like to do more bat reps from 0. So 1, 2, I don't know. But anyway. Xeno-G. You can't go wrong with Harlequin colors. You just get the Skittles packet, the sweets, and each time you need a new color, you pick one at random and use that. Yeah, there you go. That sounds like a fun little game. Because if you're going with, okay, I'm going to do the hair. What color should I do? Oh, purple. Okay, do the hair purple. I'm going to do the jacket. Grab another color. Ooh, red. Do the jacket in red. Color should I do? You know what I mean? And just keep going like that. That's a fun little game. You probably end up with diabetes at the end of it, but it sounds like a fun little game. Mark, thank you. I'll find something bright. Yeah, or you can take them dark, like the way GW did them. I mean, it's entirely up to you. They're your models. You spent the money on them. You paint them however you want. If you want to paint them entirely in golds, or like the clown from the Italian opera that you always see, where he's mostly white, but he has like those little black, like little dots, like little checkers, like his buttons are black, and like he's got like slight black makeup, Yeah, whatever you want to do. Man, that'd actually be pretty cool if you did the Harlequins all purely in that white with like just the accents in black and then maybe like one little spot of color, like say red or something. I think that would look pretty cool actually. Or doing them all in metal. Nobody does them all in metals. Why not? Doing colored metals, colored metallics. There you go, colored metallics. See, again, you can go anywhere with Harlequins. You can go anywhere with Eldar color schemes. Really, you can go anywhere with them. Ember's Children, extreme tones too, light to dark. Don't settle for the lightest color. Add that white. Yeah, exactly. Coffee. Okay, so where are we in these comments? We're okay? We're okay. Let's do another email because we're on a roll. Why not? This is from Bob Bjorn, aka Bjorn. Anyway, dear Kris, thank you for helping out the less skilled out there. This includes me. You wanted some picks, so here they are. Bases aren't done yet. I have 2 more models to go before I go back to basing. Greetings, Bob, aka Bjorn. So let's have a look at Bjorn's models. And I think we've looked at these, didn't we? We were talking about the flesh, I think, last time. But getting the really bright qualities to them. I like that yellow in there. That's so striking. Oh, I like that. Very Crow. Feels like the Crow. The Crow, not the Crow. Damn it. Sin City, that's what it is. Sin City. Feels like Sin City. Very monochromatic with that one little spot color. I like that. This guy's really cool. This guy just looks awesome. Oh, you guys can't see him. Crap. Sorry, folks. Sometimes I get ahead of myself. See, like the birdie? The eagle? This, I think it's a female. With the elbow, armband. And then this guy with the mask. I like this guy with the mask. He's cool. He looks scary. Scary. Come on, let's go next. Backsides. Very cool. I like the whole vibe we got going on with them now. The little spot color in there, the yellow. Very cool. For anybody out there who definitely wants to challenge their sense of like color ideas, try a monochromatic piece, or even like this, or just like one just in grays. Go from black to white and everything gray in between. Very, very cool. It's a very good exercise. I would recommend that for everybody out there who is interested in improving their painting and challenging themselves. Because again, doing monochromatic is not easy. Ooh, looks like her hand's moving. It's freaking me out. But very, very cool. I like it. Thank you, Bob, for sending that in. That's awesome. Was there anything he wanted to know? No. He was showing off a bit. That's okay. Yeah. So thank you, Bob, for sending that in. I like that color scheme. The guy with the bald head, it looks very, very cool. That's very awesome. And so yeah, you have to send them in again when you get the bases done, because it'd be very, very cool. Spite You, Way to the Brush, episode 129, Monochromatic and Skittle Scheme Challenge. I like it. I'm going to use it. That seems it seems quite apt, actually. Oh crap! Oh, I'm messing this up now. Oh crap! Hold on, I messed this all up. Oh lordy! There it is. Sorry, I'm just typing this crap in here. Here we go. All right. Good to go? Good to go. Sort of. Kinda. A little bit. Not really. All right. So, monochromatic, definitely, is a big challenge for everybody. Despite you, thank you. I'm gonna keep that. I'm gonna keep the title there. I like that. Monochromatic and Skittle Scheme Challenge. Despite you, good way to drum up some emails. Bob, welcome. No questions. No, I didn't. I think it was just showing off your prowess, as it were. Tolo, Kris, is there a show next weekend? Labor Day weekend, and is it giveaways? I don't know. You know what? I think I might have plans next week. Good thing you reminded me. Yeah, there might not be a show next week. And for episode 30, yeah, you know what? Maybe there'll be no show next week because the next following week we'll do a giveaway. What? I have no idea. But yeah, we will do something. Yeah, let's do that. So, not this weekend, but next weekend, episode 130, giveaway special. Calling it right now, giveaway special. Tune in. Of course, you have to be here live to win. So, yeah, we're gonna do giveaway. What? No clue. Spite You, I got a couple of Reaper bones I can do up. I can see if I can get them done in a week and email it in. Very cool. Awesome. Quillian Jacobs, I'm actually tempted to do the Skittles challenge with my Harlequins because I can't decode on paint scheme. Or decode. Or decide on paint. Yeah, decide. Decode. Can't decode the paint scheme. It's an enigma within a riddle. Johnny's Chap Shop. What's the best way to remove dried superglue? The best way to remove dried superglue? Okay, well, short of using the best way is using your X-Acto blade and very carefully kind of just chiseling the pieces off. It's painful, it's a lot of work. If you're doing it to a plastic model, you can end up bending and breaking that plastic, and so you got to be very, very careful. Okay, but the best way is that's not it. Where the hell is it? Don't tell me somebody took my crap again. Steven, did you take my debonder? son of a beehive. Anyway, this company that produces this super glue. You know what's really rude is when people borrow your stuff and don't return it. That's really, really rude. This company here, can't remember what the hell they're called. Anyway, they have a debonder, and it works really, really great. It's not just with their glues; it works on all sorts of glues. That is the best way. Is a I can never say the word acronite debonder, and that is the best way to remove super glue. Yeah, I called you. Oh. Did you take my debonder?
No. The green bottle?
It was. I can't remember if it was green or if it's a red.
Nope.
I bet you it was that Lee. Anyway, annoying. I'm annoyed now. But yeah, that's the best way to remove super glue. Other than just chiseling it off, but that's a pain, and you can end up wrecking the model. You can end up scratching and stuff like that, and so yeah. Dad at Wargaming, give away 100 model holders. Holy molies! I don't know about that. Dad at Wargaming, give away a set of brush care equipment. Interesting. That's interesting. You mean like little gift baskets of brush care? Interesting. So really not a whole lot to that, but Dad at Wargaming, tell Steve happy birthday from the monkeys. Steve, happy birthday. Monkey, say happy birthday. He says, "Oh, I slapped him." Everybody got diabetes around here. Jeez. Cos King 5555 giveaway handle. I might give away handles. I didn't realize how popular these things were going to be. I mean, of course, they are made with love by me. I mean, each one is handmade. Oh, yeah, that reminds me. Anybody who has one of these already, because I know I've given a few out. If you've already received one of these and you have been using it, if you could go to the Mini Wargaming store and just give me a short little review, whether you liked it, hated it, found it useful, blah blah blah, whatever, right? But yeah, just a little review on it. Good, that'd be really helpful. And me love you long time. A handle with my name signed on it. Yeah, somebody had asked when they purchased it if I could autograph them, and I did. I mean, like when people order stuff, sometimes they have funny requests in them. So, yeah, if you want it autographed or something like that, sure, that's fine. Tolo, I have the first. Yeah, I think you got the first one like right out of the batch, eh? Yeah. Yeah, Bob. Oh, a handle. Didn't get one. Sold out. Yeah, they sold out that day. And I'm going to be putting a few more on the market probably Monday. So, keep an eye peeled. But yeah. Or maybe it's in here. Sorry, I'm still trying to think where my glue. It annoys me. I see all my tools are in places. And it annoys me when my tools are not where they should be. Data Wargaming, can I get a middle holder shipped to the UK? Yeah, you ship worldwide. A model holder, yeah. Yeah, you can get it. We ship worldwide. If you go if you go to the Mini Wargaming store and you'll see I think it's the section called By Kris or From Kris. You click it and it'll take you to the little holder, and it has the full description, little spiel on it and everything, and what it costs and all that. Yeah, it's like a regular little purchase of product, and I shipped them out in a nice little velvety pouch. Just because it felt appropriate, I guess. I don't know. It felt kind of I don't know what that word is. Simple? Elegant? I don't know. Zine OG, Kris, what is your favorite Eldar model that you've painted, and can we see it if nearby? My favorite Eldar model that I've painted? Favorite Eldar model? Favorite Eldar model? Well, a favorite Eldar model. Ooh, he's a little dusty. Along with the rest of my stuff. Now this guy, I've got pictures on my blog and a few other my little galleries around the internet. I've got a few pictures of this guy. This guy was modeled for Nadu, who was the chief of the Wild Riders when Samhan had their own codex kind of thing, right? And so I just, made him as such. The head was from the Coral. He was the captain of the Lion Guard for Fantasy. It's a regular Eldar Guardian with Tyranid carapace bits on his shoulder. The staff is an Eldar pulse laser with Necron staff of light on the end, along with the little techno doodad from the aerial as well. Just to kind of give the staff kind of this crazy kind of Eldar kind of look. The skull is from the Black Ark from Manowar. It was for the Dark Elves. And then he's standing on two little bits of Dark Eldar bits, as well as the extended wings on the Viper are from the old Dark Eldar vehicle kits. I just filled in. They were the hollow ones, and then I just filled them in and made them solid. And yeah, that's essentially it. It was an old character. He was really, really cool. He was only like 75 points at the time. And he basically was just a Viper who could run around doing close combat attacks as he went flying around. And and then he's got like jeweler's chain and stuff like that because he's holding on the chain, to keep him on the Viper, as one would imagine, right? I initially had this too, entered into a golden demon, and it was initially painted somewhere similar like that. And at the time, it really wasn't quite complete. I wasn't very happy with my end result at the time. And so it only, I think, made first pick. And yeah, I think too, this is also where I really started, like at the time here with the black, is when I was really starting to like using turquoise to highlight black. You can see like on the end of the Viper casing and in the back of the wings, you can see there's a bit of turquoise. This model I painted up, crap, when did I paint this? 2000? Somewhere around 2000, I think I started painting this. And then I switched to more of this this organic kind of paint job. I was initially thinking of like what would old Wraithbone look like, and I was thinking of like kind of like the orange and the fruit and kind of dried out, and how it had like all these different cells, and then the cells are kind of caving in, and so it leaves just kind of this harder kind of carapace or cartilage behind, and so each of the cells are kind of like deflating, and then it's just a frame, your outside skin you're looking at, but like the cells are deflating, but not so much that they're gone. They're just they're just deflating, and it's like old Wraithbone, and that was my idea for old Wraithbone, was those like cells deflating kind of thing, and kind of has a bit of like a Freddy Krueger-esque kind of quality to it, but yeah. I've had this guy for a long time. He's a little bit messed up in some points, and so I actually consider him work in progress. Yeah. But he's probably one of my favorites. He's one of the ones that I've spent a lot of time on. Otherwise, a lot of my models, I really don't spend that much time on, you know? And, yeah. But if you look around, I think if you go to like Riders of the Cosmic Serpent, which is my blog, and you kind of dig back a ways. You have to go digging. And I have, or maybe even my YouTube channel. I think I have a video on the YouTube channel here. There might be a video where he's just kind of turning. Yeah, there might be a video on that too. I can't remember. But yeah, so Zine, yeah, that's probably, to answer your question, yeah, that's probably it, is him. He's just been, you know, he was just this wild conversion I was doing. Oh, and then I had a special base made for him where he's kind of like knocking this fence over and he was like kind of like flying over. And I had in the dirt, I had the Samhan logo like roughly carved into the dirt. Like it looked like, you know, just the elevation of the dirt and the sand and everything like that. And like, you know, the 2 points of like, you know, like the infinity symbol above it, it was basically like 2 little craters and then just kind of made the infinity symbol above it. And so, yeah, I don't know if I still have the base. I don't know why I'm looking around here because it's probably at home. But yeah, that's it. Other than my Phantom Titan and my Vampire. My Vampire was a fun paint job too. Anyway, where are we? Cause King 5555 Imperial Primer from Citadel is a ripoff. Was it all dried out on you? Because you apply it, you don't apply it very heavily. You apply it, you know, kind of liberally, not liberally. Like you don't apply it like heavily on the model. It doesn't have to sit on the model like completely black. You can actually you can kind of see your brush strokes and the metal or the plastic kind of shining through. That's okay. The Mobius, laughing my ass off, just imagining the advert for a French woman whispering into the mic, "Bye, Kris." Dead of Wargaming, that model is older than me. Yeah, it's older than a lot of gamers, I realize, yeah. Well, I realized that when I was first starting, you know, this job as, you know, painter for Mini Wargaming, you know, and I'd say about 20 years experience at the time. And then as time has progressed, I've realized that around the time when I started painting was about 88. And that puts it around the mark of 28 years. And so now it's going on 30 years, basically, when you kind of tell people that, well, how long have you been in this? Well, damn near 30 years, you know? So, yeah, it's almost 30 years experience. 30 years. Man. It's a long time. Xeno G. That duder is so cool. Love the wave scale work on the back. Conversion work is nice. Thanks for showing. You painted it when I was 2 years old. Yeah. Clayton Tate, the Elder conversion was amazing. Thank you. Like I said, like I think I might have a video showcasing it in the channel. Otherwise, in my blog, I know I have pictures of it. Yeah, I'd love it if they brought him back. If they brought him back, my God, that'd be awesome. If they brought Nadu back, I would be a happy guy. Of course, they probably wouldn't have him on a Viper or anything like that. Anything cool like that. Graham Tisler. Sorry, Kris, for coming in late and watch the whole thing after. Okay. Don't have to apologize to me. Just do whatever you like. Emperor's Champion. I've never had a problem with Imperial Primer. No, as little as I've used, but I've used, like back in the day, I've used a lot of brush-on primers, and Citadel used to have a brush-on primer. I've used a lot of Vallejo's brush-on primer, which was just a plain old white. And, you know, I never really had any problems with it. I just take like an older brush and just kind of you know, slap it on kind of thing. Not too heavily, of course. Just, you know, just a quick little layering on the model, and that's all you need, you know. Spite you at Kris. Will you ever write an autobiography? I don't know if anybody really gives a crap to read that. Excuse me. Now, mind you, I mean, like, not that my life is boring or anything like that, but I don't know. I don't think it would sell that many. Maybe we'll give one of those handles away with each one. But otherwise, yeah. Have I ever thought of writing an autobiography? No, never. Will I ever? It's highly unlikely. Not impossible, just not likely. Yeah. Graham Collin. Did I recently catch something recently about Dave losing his beard? Losing his beard? No, I don't think he lost it. He shaved it off. He was doing it for his movie, and so yeah, he shaved it off. And yeah. Lord Krabby, almost done with this cyst model? Cyst model? What? Despite you, we would read it. Yeah, I know some of you guys would read it. But I mean, it would be an interesting story, to be sure, to tell the whole thing, beginning to end. But I mean, I'm only 40. Yeah, believe it or not, I'm only 40, and I mean, writing an autobiography now, while I'm only halfway through my life, would be not necessary. I mean, better to write one up, near your end days, right, and then tell the story of your life, how you got from point A to point B. At least, that's what I think. Dr. Zantos, was there a fire or something like that? One should never lose a beard otherwise. No, it's Forrest Flick, man. I mean, we do things for our art, I suppose. Data Wargaming, Kris, if you could be any type of space marine in the Great Crusade, what would you be part of, and from what legion? I'd be 1,000 Sun jet biker. I'd probably be one of those Iron Imperial Fist breachers, the little shield, and it'd be like 300 with all the little space marines and their shields. All have their guns, and they're all just kind of marching in, and boarding ships or breaking into fortresses or something like that. It'd be like a bunch of little Spartans just running around. Instead of spearing people, of course, they'd be shooting people with their pistols, but otherwise, yeah, that's how it'd go. Yeah, I'd probably be behind a shield and fighting. That's it. That's your autobiography right there. Alex Bello, what up, Bromigo? Bromigo. Lord Krabby, Story Time by Kris. It'd be titled, It's Not Lube. Yeah, exactly. It's not lube. It wasn't. It's back again, too. Anyway. Where was I? Oh, yeah. Ember's Champion. All brush on primers I've used shake a hell of a lot before, more than normal paints, and that's it really. Yeah, because of the extra pigment in them, and yeah, I mean you just shake the hell out of them. But whenever I've used them, yeah, it was just I laid a little bit on palette, grab like an older paintbrush, not one that had to have a sharp point or anything on it. One that I can pretty much just go like this, so I can get the primer into like the details and stuff. But otherwise, like a metal model, you could see the metal still, right? And so plastic models, yeah, you can still see a bit of the plastic. And I mean, like, just because Imperial Primer is black, it doesn't mean that the model you're priming has to be perfectly black. It can still show a little bit of the under material color. Yeah. Despite you, it would clearly be called Way of the Brush. Yeah, that is probably about the best way of it. Graham Collin, 40, you're just a youngin'. Yeah, well, yeah. Compared to old balls like Graham, yeah. Despite you by Chris Bell Zoo. Kris Belzu? I don't get it. Kris Belzu. Oh, like Zunzu? Or, yeah, I get it. I get jokes. Cause King 555. By Kris going to put together Crisis Suites. Crisis Suites. By Kris going to put together Crisis Suites. Are you talking Crisis Suits? Or Suites? Because suits and suites are two different things. Zeno G, have you ever thought about the studio having a huge apocalypse game where only painted models can be used, but everything is unbound? No. It would be really cool to have everybody play a game all together. You know, you have everybody, all the staff members. We're all going to play a big apocalypse game. Unfortunately, it takes about 2 days to run a good game. Say about anywhere from 5 to 10,000 points each, and we can't be really tied up that long. You know what I mean? Like dedicating 2 days just a game, like a single game. I mean, I'm sure we could generate a crap ton of videos from it, but yeah, no, I don't think it'll ever happen. It even took a bit of doing. Anyway, when me and Dan played an apocalypse game, during hours, and we did it live, which was somewhat entertaining. Yeah, we also had another member monitoring the chat and the cameras at the time too. So yeah, that took 3 people to film one apocalypse game. Imagine a whole bunch of us, all of us, playing one big apocalypse game. That's too much. And then plus 2, if you ever watched when Matt does like the special games, and he has like Dave and Steve and Quirk or whoever, and he's trying to have everybody play this one game. It's like herding cats, trying to keep everybody at that place, and what I mean, like it's because guaranteed Matt would have to be the GM, and yeah, he'd have to have everybody kind of wrangled in, and otherwise everybody would just run amok, and he'd be swinging from the chandeliers and nobody paying attention, and yeah, stuff like that. So Data Wargaming, I have a riddle for you all. I don't know the answer, so I'm asking if anyone can solve it. You put the monkey in the box. Where's the monkey? I know it's not in the box, and its name is not where. What? You put the monkey in the box. Where's the monkey? Wherever I put him. I don't get it. I know it's not in the box and the name is not where. Okay. Anyway, Tolo, Alice can do an unauthorized autobiography. Yeah, he could. I don't know if he'd want to, but he could. Excuse me. Graham Collin, a suite or sweet suit? Suite or sweet suit? Man, do you sit there around and think of this clever stuff all day? Graham Collin, it's actually possible to write an unauthorized autobiography. Or is it actually possible to write an unauthorized autobiography? Sure, it's possible. I mean, you can make up whatever you want. That'd be unauthorized, right? Just, Kris was on the internet one day and he, grew up in a cabbage patch and, whatever. Graham Collin, on your back, in jail. The monkey is 6 feet under. The box was a coffin. Wow, that's pretty flimsy to assume. I mean, you put the monkey in a box. Where is the monkey? And you're saying 6 feet under because the box is a coffin. Lord Krabby, there is no box, only the monkey. There is no spoon. What? This doesn't make any damn sense. That's not really much of a riddle because I mean, there's not a whole lot. I mean, you're left to assume a lot of variables. You put the monkey in the box. That's almost a certainty of a statement. You put the monkey in the box. You put the monkey in the box. Where's the monkey? Well, if you put the monkey in the box, that means the monkey is in the box. No? I don't know. I thought you put the lime in the coconut. Put the lime in the coconut. Anyway. Graham Collin, if it was an autobiography, then the author has written it about themselves. Otherwise, it's a biography. Okay, so if Graham writes a book about me, then it's a biography. But if I write it, it's about me. It's an autobiography. Gotcha. Graham Tischler. I have probably missed it, but how did you ATST turn out? And did you put an imp sysbum on it? Did I put the imperial symbol? No, I didn't put the imperial symbol on it, and I mean I've done it. And if you go into the channel and go back like a page, and you'll see a showcase video where I have it like just kind of on a turntable turning. You can see it. I'm still debating whether or not I want to throw snow on it and do icicles. Because I have the base painted like Hoth, like it's snow time. And yeah, but I never put the imperial decals on. You know what? I put 0 decals onto that thing. And I never even painted the interior. And it's got a full-on interior inside it too, like there's the pilots and everything like that. I didn't even bother with them. That one went by fairly quickly, but I mean, like I'm pretty happy with the results because I mean, I really enjoyed the weathering. I did a combination of washes and pigments, black and browns and oranges for like rusts and things like that. I keep looking up at it because I'm looking up at it. But here, you know what? Real quickly here. Let's see if I can grab it in one piece. And then, of course, it's all sealed as well. But yeah, I have a showcase video on this on the channel. But yeah, you can see again I dirtied up the joints, and you can see like on the feet, you can see there's a hint of like oranges and rusts. There's many little things at play on this guy. I was really happy with. Again, I mean, like the movie doesn't really show a whole lot of like symbols or anything like that on them. Whoa, almost dropped it. You see like the backside here. And so I was thinking of putting like snow on it, but I mean, if he's like, moving around and he's blasting his lasers and stuff, would there be a lot of snow gathered on it? And not really. And I was also thinking of having like an icicle or two dripping down from like the exhausts here, and that was about it. About it. But yeah, I mean, he can come right off the stand, and actually I can still repose this guy as well. He's fully posable, and I can do whatever I like, and that kind of stuff. So, but yeah, I had fun with it, and yeah. Where are we? Spite you. You are in the box. You are the monkey. Call King 555. Okay, I have a better riddle. A cat wants a bat, but the cat can't touch the bat. What does the cat do? Catman do? I don't know. Data Wargaming. The riddle was, this riddle will haunt you forever. It has an answer, but the person who told it to me never told me the answer. Dr. Zanto's most entertaining riddle I've heard went something like this. A respected king died, and there was a funeral. 5 knights were dressed in purple, 5 in black, and 5 in white, and 5 in gold. Okay. His coffin was lined with green stones and silver upon black wood. His crypt was made to face from east to west. Why was the king buried? I don't know. Anyway, let everybody ponder on Dr. Xantos's riddle. Despite you, Head Kris, what would you use to dirty it up? I like the streaking. The streaking was done with a combination of using like non-oil, where I basically would like lay it onto the model, and then with like a paper towel, I'd wipe up or down, and it would cause streaking as well. I also used pigments for in the recesses, and I also used the pigments to like draw the streaking out. And so once everything was all done, I sealed it in acrylic. I just basically took the airbrush and took an acrylic sealer and sprayed it all up and sealed it. And that's it. That's pretty much it. I mean, it was a combination of shade washes and pigments. You know, like I said, I used non-oil. I think I used a bit of Agrax, and I used black pigment as well as light brown and an orange pigment as well to get the rust and kind of get the griminess. And believe it or not, the armor itself on this guy, it is highlighted. It goes from a darker gray to a lighter gray. Believe it or not, it's just the shades are just so close together that it's kind of hard to see. But I kind of felt it needed to be there, and I almost edge highlighted some of this stuff too. But then I thought, no, it doesn't look true to like Star Wars. You know, it feels kind of like 40K ish, and I wanted to have that 40K era Star Wars feeling where it kind of looks like, you know, right out of the movie. You know, it has that kind of realism. You know, it's a fun little exercise actually doing model kits separate from like, you know, painting 40K stuff or, you know, miniature stuff. For example, like it's a different set of rules really when doing them, because I mean, like, you know, doing like say a World War II tank kit, you wouldn't throw highlights on it like you would, you know, a Land Raider. The two just don't mesh. And so it's actually kind of fun, you know, to do something like a World War II kit where you're playing in these desaturated colors and you can use these different effects, and, you know, like you don't have to worry so much about a whole lot of contrast in the model. That in fact, when you are going for more realism, everything becomes very subdued and kind of melds, and at a distance things just, you know, become very muddy looking. You can't tell until you get up close and go, oh wow, look at all this, right? And again, you know, with 40K or any of the other tabletop games, you know, you have to be bold with the colors because, you know, at a distance it's got to catch the viewer's eye, and, you know, and you look closer and it's like, wow, look at that. So yeah, Dr. Xantos read it in a Forgotten Realm book. It was supposed to be a how many dwarves can a troll eat with an empty stomach kind of riddle, but smarter as a dragon was asking it. So basically, we're left to assume that the king was killed by a dragon. Is that what we're assuming here? I don't know. Anywho, what do we have? Holy crap! It is time. We're done with the show. We're done. Graham, we're done. It's one. No, it's two. That's it. Stomach will no longer be empty. There we go. And so, I think we learned something. We got through some emails today. I think we learned a little bit of something. We had a few laughs, I hope. And apparently we were doing lots of riddles here. I still don't get the monkey in the box thing. I mean, if you know what the heck is going on about a monkey in a box, then leave a comment below. But yeah. Hopefully, in the Mini Wargaming store, we will have more of the handles, so be watching for that. Of course, we'll post something on the Facebook, and I'll post something on the Way of the Brush Facebook page as well, and so keep you guys informed for anybody who really wants one. yeah. So any questions, comments, you want critiques on work you're doing, send it to Kris at miniwargaming.com. It's in the description below. Join us on Facebook. The link is in the description below. Facebook, Way the Brush. T-shirts. Recently, there was, I think the sale is still going on. It was 15% off T-shirts. And so I had the little code on the Way of the Brush Facebook page. I put the little code up. It was called, I think the code is like Super Shirt or something like that. Anyway, you type that in and you get 15% off the shirt. And so why not? I figured, they're selling me, they're sending me these codes, and I keep forgetting to, get those out there so that, knocks a little bit of the price off for people. But I'm going to try and keep up on that as well. So, yeah. Ghost of Starman Deluxe. We are all monkeys in the boxes. No. No. Bad. Yeah. So, handles, t-shirts, for sale soon enough. Well, the t-shirts you can buy, but they're on sale, I believe. Anywho. Next week there'll be no show, but the episode following will be episode 130, and we're gonna do giveaway. What? I have no idea. Well, I have a few ideas, but we'll do giveaway. And so, take care of your brushes; they'll take care of you. And I will see you guys in episode 130, where we will most likely have a monkey sort of day. Oh. It's going to be exhausting. I know it. You guys are going to be bad. You guys better be good for that episode too, because shenanigans. Monkeys. Oh, the monkeys.